Want to bet your favorite horse but can't make it to the racebook? South Point Casino's Racebook has the answer. Come in and sign up for the Nevada Racebook mobile app. For just a $50 minimum deposit, you'll have the Racebook right at your fingertips, no matter where you are in Nevada. It's convenient, fun, and easy to use. When you do have time to visit, South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our Racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. Whether you want to come in or play from the comfort of your home, South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Celebrating over 2 decades of consecutive broadcasts on the great game of horse racing in Las Vegas, the Race Day Las Vegas show thanks all of our listeners and sponsors for your appreciated support.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. All righty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this Sunday, the last day of the regular season of the NFL, and, of course, a lot of action going on with the College Football Championship tomorrow, Monday. But, of course, our focus is on horse racing. Plenty of that going on in the racebook here in Las Vegas, especially at the South Point. We come to you from the South Point studios at the South Point Hotel Casino on the fabulous Strip. And, of course, we have plenty other platforms for you guys to get us on a Sunday or any other day that we broadcast. And, of course, that is with our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global. You got your iPhone, Android with the KSHP phone app that you can put on your devices so you can hear us that way. And, of course, anywhere you get your podcasting. But we suggest always to go to YouTube, get on South Point Studio, and then hit the subscribe button on that. And you'll get to see and hear us on the Race Day shows. And, of course, here in Las Vegas, our AM anchor radio station, KSHP Sports Talk, 1400 AM and 107.1 FM. Got a lot of places you can get us, that's for sure. We welcome you to the show. We thank you for being with us on this Sunday morning. It is cold here in Las Vegas in the low and mid and high 30s in the mornings, and of course in the afternoons we're going to get up to the high 50s and 60s. That's it. But the big weather of course, right now for horse racing is across the nation. It's on the East Coast. And as far as the East Coast is concerned and the Midwest, it is just getting slammed with all sorts of weather, from rain to snow to sleet to freezing, ice. It's just a mess there. And it seems that the way the weather pattern is going, the way the jet stream is going, this is going to be the first of two more different storms that are going to be making its way through the southeast and up on the south, all the way up to the northeast corridor and the Midwest. You guys are going to have like bad weather for at least the next 10 days. So just hunker down and enjoy, because after all, it is wintertime, but be safe out there. That's for sure. It's going to affect racing conditions at a lot of the racetracks around the country as well. As far as the West Coast, though, nice and clear in Southern California. And we have a big coast-to-coast Pick 5 carryover today in excess of $180,000. We'll get into that in just a moment on how it got to a carryover, etc. But we want to welcome everybody to the Race Day Show. And with me on set in studio, let's welcome Mr. John Lendo. John, for the third day. Good morning, my man.
Good morning, Ralph. I tell you what, for a Sunday morning in Las Vegas, you're pretty chipper.
Well, yeah, I'm like Jimmy Vaccaro just walked by. He had 12 hours of sleep. I guess maybe it just rubbed off a little, that's for sure. But it's going to be an exciting day because we have that little nugget, that carryover in the coast-to-coast Big Five, and some great racing cards around. But like I said, we might be affected with some weather on the East Coast as far as turf racing or racing at all. There's no cancellations up to this point. But that weather has been really slamming the East Coast.
Well, it's the beginning of the year, January. You're expecting this around the country a little bit. So we'll just, we're horse players. We adapt and overcome.
I got to tell you, it was a lot of fun being in the book yesterday. A lot of folks came up in the South Point book yesterday to share some stories with us and do some handicapping. It was really a lot of fun. That's the great thing about being in a race book here in Las Vegas, especially here at the South Point, that separates the race and sports book. They're both two separate books, and that's for sure. And it's just, just having fun and commiserating and communicating and celebrating with all of your friends out there sharing handicapping ideas. It was really great.
Well, that's how we became fans. You go to the racetrack and you develop your friendships, and then now it's a social thing. You get out there and you want to see your buddies, how you doing, what's going on, and you tell a few lies and you have a good time.
Yeah, and not only that, but you sit there and you say, well, who do you like? Who do you like? And the next thing you know, you're sitting there saying, well, let's put a ticket together and see if we could hit the thing. And it was great. And I know a lot of people were frustrated off of that coast-to-coast Pick 5 yesterday. But we'll get into that a little bit. I know Jonathan Hardoon's got a soapbox so high he's got nosebleed going on because he's going to get more into it on Wednesday. I know we will all get into it on Wednesday. But for now, we want to keep a look and take a look at what's going on today that is pertinent for today for us. That's for sure. Couple of nice football games yesterday. The last game really meant something. The winner is in and the loser's out.
Good game last night, Houston and Indy, and interesting schedule today with so many guys not playing. And it's kind of fun to be out here in Las Vegas. These guys have all done their homework out here, and watching the numbers move around the board. Being in California, I don't get to see this all the time.
Yeah,
so
they call that the wise guy money. The wise guy money is showing up.
The steamers.
However, in horse racing, we're not too privy and or really liking like that late wise guy money that's showing up in the pools all of a sudden. And Jonathan Hardoon's got a story about a horse that left the gate at one odds, finished the race in front at another odds. He had the horse and he thought he lost money, and he did from the line that the horse that when he left the gate.
Yeah, that's the computer-assisted wagering money rearing its head again.
Yeah. We do have to address that sooner or later, that's for sure. All right, on today's show, we got, of course, John with us. We got Jonathan standing by. We'll have Rich Ang. He's going to give us a thought on the college football championship game tomorrow night featuring Washington and Michigan, and, of course, all the most of the lame duck NFL games today, and, of course, horse racing, that's for sure. Let me give you the results from what happened yesterday. Aqueduct yesterday, they had a couple of stakes races. The Jerome, of course, had 10 Kentucky Derby leaderboard points attached to it, and the person who got those 10 points and the horse who got that 10 points was, drum roll please, which is a horse that Jonathan Hardoon liked a lot. He has connections with Brad Cox, who was the trainer. Javier Castellano rode. Was a really nice, solid win, I thought, because the horse sat off of the leaders, rounded the turn on the outside, and then wore him down in the stretch work with a confidence win in the Jerome, paying $3.20 as the favorite. El Grande O was second, and Kalnate finished third in that race. That was the Jerome. Later on, the ladies' stakes won by Comparative with the Manny Franco aboard, and that was Brad Cox trainee too. So Brad Cox won both stakes races yesterday at Aqueduct. That horse paid $6.20, outrunning Saddle Up Jesse and Evidencias, who finished third. Pick six. Nobody had the pick six yesterday at Aqueduct, so they got a carryover as well. 5 out of 6 paid $1,091.50. And I guess that was mostly because the last race winner came in and paid $57 even on a horse that was the hunch bet. The horse's name was Can't Beat Me, and they didn't. $57 at Aqueduct yesterday. All right, then we noted, John, that we had a carryover in the Golden Gate Pick 5 yesterday, the early Pick 5 yesterday. The winners there paid $17, $5.40, $6, $20.80, and $7 even. The winning numbers were 6, 2, 3, 5, 6. 5 out of 6 paid $2,392 in that carryover in the Pick 5 yesterday at Golden Gate. Oak Lawn Park featured the Pippin Stakes at 1 mile and 16th. That was the 9th on the card, fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. It was an off track at Oak Lawn, but as John and Jonathan both have told us several times, that track at Oak Lawn Park, the main track, really holds water well, and it really is a good track for even off-track racing. It has a great bottom to it. Winner there in the Pippin was Misty Vale. Mike Maker, the trainer there. Ramon Vasquez riding at 8:20, outrunning Ice Orchid and Butterbean, who finished third there at Oak Lawn yesterday. And then we went to Turfway Park last night. Turfway Park, the winner of the Turf Preview Stakes. Now, this is the stakes race that is the prep for the big stakes race there. I think it's the Jack Ruby Stakes Stake. Go figure. The Jack Ruby Stakes Stake, which is one of the Kentucky Derby prep races for the Derby, and it has a Derby leaderboard points. The Turfway Preview did not, but the winner of that race prepping for the prep was Vote No, with Geraldo Corrales aboard, paying $4.98. Remember, they pay down to the penny in the breakage there. John, William Murray, trainer.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray trained the horse, yeah. He's out there.
He's all over the place.
Yeah, huh? Let's go. Mark was second, and finishing third in the race was Sweet Sadi J. All right, then we go to the big, great race place, Santa Anita. Santa Anita yesterday, of course, the San Vicente. This is another race for 3-year-olds, a pivotal race at 7 furlongs, but it holds no Kentucky Derby Future Book points. But the winner there was Muth, an easy winner. Juan Hernandez aboard, paying $2.80 as the filthy prohibitive favorite. Bob Baffert trainee, and Baffert was already heading down to the winner's circle when they turned for home, because the other horse that was battling Muth at the top of the stretch was Pilot Commander, who finished second, also trained by Bob Baffert. So Baffert runs 1-2 in that race. Slider, a horse that I kind of liked, John Sadler's horse, I thought ran a very credible third in that race. I think you're going to hear more from Slider, John.
I think so. A lot of speed. He did all the dirty work battling with Pilot Commander, and he never gave up. He got hit a neck for second. He ran pretty well.
Yeah, he was battling all the way to the wire. He never gave up, that's for sure. Jerry Jakowitz had a reverse play win for us in the 9th race yesterday at Santa Anita. Irish Prophet got the win for Juan Hernandez again, paying $12.80. But Jerry's key horse, Maltese Falcon, finished third in that race. And, John, I thought the Maltese Falcon was gone in the middle of the stretch.
I don't know how that horse lost. What a ride by Joel Rosario on the fence every step of the way. He opened up and he got caught from behind.
I know. Juan Hernandez beating Joel Rosario. The dollar reverse exacta paid $32.70 at Santa Anita yesterday. And for the most part, favorites mixed in with a couple of long shots there. The highest priced winner of the day paid $38. That was in the 5th race at Santa Anita yesterday. Gulfstream Park, 3 stakes races there, the final 3 on the card. The Ginger Brew was won by Ozara. Tyler Gaffleone for Christophe Clement, paying $8 even, outrunning Life's and Audible. and Wasuksi, I guess, is the third place finisher there. In the Limehouse Stakes, couple of late scratches in that race, left a field of 5. The winner there was Ship to Shore, Mr. Diaz aboard, Hector Diaz Jr. at $5.60 for trainer Eddie Owens Jr. And the 11th race was the Diana Beach at a mile on the turf for 3-year-olds. That one there was Takeo for Rudolph Sanchez Salomo, and Mr. Ruiz rode that horse, paying $29.80 in that race. And, the Coast to Coast Pick 5, I got to tell you, the 10th race, the Limehouse, was, I think, the final race, or the next to final race in the Coast to Coast Pick 5.
I think the fourth of the 5 races, I think.
Now, in this race, there was a horse that was 1 to 5, Ship to Shore. Before that, number 1, Sir Flash, was got away, or some guy in the starting gate was having problems.
He had a problem getting saddled, and then in the gate he reared up 2 or 3 times, and he dropped the jock, and he was scratched at the gate.
Yeah. Then they put the horses back in the gate, and all of a sudden, the 1 to 5 favorite, and it got to be a singleton on 99.9%, at least a horse at 99.9% on the tickets for the Coast to Coast 5. Valiant Force acted up as well, and then he got scratched.
Yeah, he threw a fit after they tried to reload him. He came out, and again, all the money was there. And so now you're left with, 3 or 4 horses?
Yeah.
And
you had 4 horses left in the race.
Yeah. And unfortunately, as it stands, you end up getting, if you get a late scratch like that, you end up on the post-time favorite out of your control.
Right.
And so they ended up on a horse that was 6 to 5.
You are pushed to the favorite of the race, no matter what you had in the race. And like you said, not your control. It has nothing. That's just the way it is, because they don't have the sophisticated system in the pari-mutuel software there when they're offering this stuff to offer an alternate horse.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Okay, let's keep that in mind, because I'm sure Jonathan will have thought about that a little bit later. Anyhow, the winner paid $5.60, was the favorite in the race anyhow, but I got to tell you.
No, the favorite was off the board. This was the second choice that won.
Oh, okay.
So all of those guys that ended up on the favorite lost.
All right, so this horse, I guess then Cuban Thunder must have been the favorite.
No, he was scratched as well. I forget which horse was favored. Somebody else went off at 6 to 5.
Oh, that was a mess. That race was a mess.
It was just an absolute mess.
Yeah. Anyhow, Ship to Shore wins. It was not the favorite, so all of those tickets that were forced into the favorite all became losers, and not at the bequest of the people who bet them.
Right.
And that was the key right there. All right. Pick 6 at Gulfstream, by the way, paid $53,988.30. So you get a thought about how difficult that sequence was. And the Coast to Coast Pick 5, because of this disaster that happened in that race, had a carryover. Nobody had the Pick 5, Coast to Coast Pick 5, on account of that mess that happened in that race. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So we're going to go to our first break, I think. We're going to do that right now. On the show, of course, we got Jonathan Hardoon standing by. John Lindo is with us in studio. And, of course, we got Rich Eng coming along with a football pick and a horse pick as well. And, of course, Jerry Jackowitz will be here a little bit later on. So don't go away on this Sunday show. We're just getting started. Don't forget, go to South Point Studio on YouTube and subscribe. We'll be right back.
Want to bet your favorite horse but can't make it to the race book? South Point Casino's Racebook has the answer. Come in and sign up for the Nevada Racebook mobile app. For just a $50 minimum deposit, you'll have the Racebook right at your fingertips, no matter where you are in Nevada. It's convenient, fun, and easy to use. When you do have time to visit, South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our Racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. Whether you want to come in or play from the comfort of your home, South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
It's time to go to the menu of racetracks available today. Now, I want to remind everybody out there that the weather is that bad weather is just going up and down the East Coast, and it's there are one storm after another going through there. So right now, this is the menu. We don't have any cancellations as of yet. That doesn't mean there won't be any later on. And of course, the turf racing at a lot of these racetracks, if they have already not designated for it, it certainly might come off as well. So keep that in mind. The racing menu for today has the first post times as they will roll out in the Pacific time zone. We are in the Pacific time zone here. Race Day Las Vegas is in Las Vegas, of course. So these will be the first post times that roll out in our race books right here. If you are listening on all of those other platforms that we welcomed everybody at the top of the show, we know there's plenty of you out there listening in other time zones. So it's simply put, adjust wherever you're at to the Pacific time zone so you get these post times right in your area so you won't miss anything, like I miss Mom and Dad, okay? Here we go. Here's the menu for today. We begin with Gulfstream Park, 10 races. The feature race today is the $100,000 Glitter Woman for 3-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs, 7 before scratches. Favoritism will be between Into Champagne at 8-5 and Let Them Watch at 2-1. They break from posts 1 and 2. 10 races at Gulfstream in the first post time of 9:10. John already got the word from Gulfstream Park that races 2 and 5 will be coming off the turf. 2nd and 5th will be coming off the turf. However, I guess they're going to have the other turf races staying on the turf. That's the latest from Gulfstream. First post time is at 9:10. Then we have Aqueduct, the Big A in New York. First post time 9:20 at Aqueduct. And 9:20 first post time there. Aqueduct has that carryover in their pick six. It's a regular pick six carryover too, folks. That is sitting at $29,483. $29,483 in the Aqueduct pick six carryover. First post time there at the Big A for their 9 races is set at 9:20. 9:20 at the Big A. All right, then Laurel Park is next. Laurel Park has 9 races. Got to be muddy and bad down there at Golden Gate, don't you think, John?
Laurel's rated sloppy and just got from Aqueduct. They are sloppy right now.
Sloppy at Aqueduct? That kind of figured with all that weather going through there. Laurel Park has a pick six jackpot carryover of $1,270. They got 9 races on that off-track. First post time is 9:25. Then we have Tampa Bay Downs. Tampa Bay Downs has a first post time for 8 races at 9:30. Tampa Bay's first post time is at 9:30. They have a pick six jackpot carryover, $9,878. 8 races, Tampa. First post time, 9:30. Oaklawn Park in Hot Springs, Arkansas. They have 9 races today at Oaklawn, and their first post time at Oaklawn Park is set at 10:30. 10:30, Oaklawn Park. Fairgrounds and all that jazz. Fairgrounds has a regular pick six carryover of $5,830. It is not a jackpot. It's a regular pick six carryover, and they have 8 races. They're off the turf at Fairgrounds as well, so you could take the 3rd, 5th, and 7th races off the turf at Fairgrounds. First post time there is 10:45. Sunland Park has all quarter horse racing today, but listen up, folks. The 7th race is the $350,000 championship at Sunland, 440 yards, a grade 1 for 3-year-olds and up. And John, in this race, in the race is the winner and the second place finisher of the Los Alamitos Champion of Champion races.
Right. You got Impressum in there and the horse that beat
Flashback.
him. Yeah, Flashback. 2 really good horses. It's a must-watch for me. I like the quarter horse.
Yeah, no kidding. And it's a 6-horse field. It'll be the 7th race on the card, and the 2 that finish 1st and 2nd in the big champions at Los Al is in this field. The championship at Sunland, 7th race, 9 races overall. First post time at Sunland today is 11:25. Santa Anita is next. They've got 9 races. The feature today is the Santa Ynez. That is for 3-year-old fillies at 7 furlongs. Just the counterpart of yesterday's race for the Colts. The $100,000 Grade 3 7-furlong race sees just 5, a compact field of 5. Pretty competitive there, though. 3-5 favorite is Copion with Flavian Pratt. 2-1 second choice is Tambo with Mr. Fresu aboard. 5 going the Santa Ynez. First post time for the 9 races at Santa Anita is set at 12:30.
12:30. No, 12 noon.
I'm sorry, that's
noon.
right. This is, again, the sheet is wrong, and I forgot the market because I looked at it yesterday. 12 high noon. 12 noon is the first post time at Santa Anita. Our graphic is right. I was wrong. The sheet's wrong, but it's okay. We got it corrected. 12 high noon in Santa Anita for their 9-race card. Then we go to Golden Gate. 8 races today at Golden Gate. First post time is 12:45 there. Golden Gate's Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $5,251. They also have a Super High 5 carryover, $2,338. First post time at Golden Gate, again for 8 races, 12:45. And then we'll wrap it up at Los Alamitos in Southern California, where they have 9 races tonight. The first 3 will be mixed breed. The next 6 will be quarter horses. And the last race is the feature race, the Charger Bar. That handicap at 400 yards for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. The $100,000 Charger Bar has a field of 10. That's the 9th and final. And, of course, Los Alamitos, if it's Sunday, it means they've got a pot already in the Pick 6. It's a regular Pick 6, not a jackpot. They have seeded it with $10,000. 10 grand is already in that Pick 6 pot for tonight. First post time is 5:15. And that is your racing menu for today. Now it's time to bring in Jonathan Hardoon, who's been chomping at the bit. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you? Good morning, John. Nice to see you.
We're fine. We'll just sit back and listen now.
What's going on, guys?
You're going to be, you look at this. I mean, you're going to be nice and calm now. I thought you had something to say.
Well, obviously, after yesterday's debacle, if this doesn't call for them to add alternates to these races, I mean, what does? There was a 4 or 5 horse field. You got pushed to a horse that personally I wouldn't have bet at 20-1, to be honest with you. And not only that, in this day and age of CAW, you really don't even know who's going to be the favorite till the middle of the stretch. So how do you even know who you're rooting for? The whole thing is a mess. It's got to be fixed. And after yesterday, if they don't fix it, they'll never fix it because it's terrible. It's bad for the game. It pisses people off, and it really leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
I agree with you 100% on that, John. The racetracks have got together with the pari-mutuel company, the people that offer the software and the computerized system, and just say, hey, listen, what we have now is antiquated. If they're not going to change it, then they have to stop offering these types of bets. They just can't offer bets that is detrimental to the patron.
Well, this problem really popped up and became a national thing when Modern Games was scratched at Del Mar in the Breeders' Cup a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He ended up running for purse money only because of the just mistakes that were made before the race. He wins the race, but the people who had him were handed another horse that ran up the track. And you know, a lot of tickets, it was the last race of the day, a lot of tickets were alive. So we know that the CHRB, the California Horse Racing Board, as the ADW companies are relicensed to handle the California racetracks, as those licenses come up, they're going to require the racetracks or anybody offering those type of races in California to have available an alternate selection. It hasn't been done all yet because not all the licenses have come up.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where nationally, I don't see why, if you're going to offer that type of sequence, a pick 5, pick 6, you can only offer it if you have the alternate selection available. That should be the rule.
I know it should be, and it's a long time coming, that's for sure. But now you said that is in California, so the other jurisdictions outside of California, like Nevada or like New York, et cetera, are not, they're not forced to do that then, right?
Well, let's say in Nevada here, if you're going to take a pick 5 or pick 6 wager, you should have available the chance to use the software for an alternate selection. It's not. I know one of the ADW companies that does business in California does have an alternate selections on the Santa Anita races for the pick 5 and the long sequences. So it's possible. Yeah. But they're not requiring it yet until they all get relicensed, and it's only for California wagers. So. It's something that needs to go national because these bets are more and more prevalent, and guys like us want to play.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're playing the coast to coast again today. Yes, Jonathan.
Once someone does it, everyone will fall in line and do it. They will follow them once somebody does it.
Yeah.
But remember, this thing that happened was 2 years ago, and nothing's changed. The only time it ever comes up is when you get a situation like yesterday. Yeah. It's terrible. It's just terrible. Not only that, whoever lays out the pick 5 coast to coast, today they have 2 7-horse fields and a 6-horse field. There are other races on the card with 10 horses in them. and 9 horses. Why not offer those races? It's going to guarantee a much bigger payoff. They're making a mistake. Whoever lays this out doesn't have a clue of what they're doing.
All right. Well, that's a good way of getting the heart pumping on Sunday.
And I feel better.
And by the way, folks, he'll continue this on Wednesday's show. So this is going to be an interesting, soapbox on Wednesday. But for now, Jonathan, let's get your blood pressure down a little and look at maybe picking some horses.
All right. Well, the first of our two, by the way, New York Aqueduct is a swimming pool today.
Yeah.
The track is a total mess. All that snow turned to rain overnight, and it's really, up here in Saratoga, we've got 10 inches so far, and it's still coming down. So we're in for it. But down at Aqueduct, where it counts, the track is a swimming pool, so I'm avoiding that track today for radio.
Okay.
And the first of our 2 radio plays is going to come in Gulfstream Park's 10th race, which is on the turf. Like you said, 2 races came off, but races 7 and 10 remain on. I like the number 6 horse in here, Pendulum. This is a 3-year-old filly from the Brendan Walsh barn. 3 career starts. Each race is better than the previous one. She gets Lasix today for the first time. Tyler Gaffleone for Brendan Walsh. 5-1 on the morning line. I like number 6, Pendulum, to win today's 10th race out at Gulfstream Park.
All right, 10th race, mile on the turf, number 6, Pendulum, the 6 horse in the 10th race at Gulfstream. Nothing at Aqueduct in the swimming pool there. Just make sure you've got your floats with you. Okay, now we go to Santa Anita.
Yeah, Santa Anita race 9. It's a mile on the turf, and I love the number 2 horse in here, Captain Coochie's. This is a 4-year-old gelding who's been gelded since his last start. He's an improving horse. He's getting better with each start. I love the rider switch to Frankie Dettori. This guy's riding like he's 20 years old. He's been unbelievable at this meet. He's listed at 6-1 on the morning line. Should work out a terrific trip in here. I like number 2, Captain Coochie's, to win today's 9th and final out at Santa Anita.
We got picks from Jonathan and 2 of the final races on their cards. Also at Santa Anita in the 9th and final, the 2 Captain Cochise, the 2 horse in the 9th race at Santa Anita. And Jonathan wants to make sure we get some good dinner money. Thanks so much, Jonathan, and keep that, keep the burner a little bit low until Wednesday, okay?
I'm sure something will happen today.
Thanks a lot, Jonathan.
Thanks. Stay safe and be well.
All right, we're going to be back with even more on the Race Day Show for this Sunday. Rich Eng is next. I got to wait until see what he says about maybe a grief or 2 about football. Who knows? Anyhow, we're here at the Race Day Show on this Sunday, just having a lot of fun, and hope you're enjoying it with us. Go to South Point Studio on YouTube and hit subscribe. We'll keep telling you that because we want all of you to subscribe. It is free, and we'll be back right after this.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Want to bet your favorite horse but can't make it to the racebook? South Point Casino's Racebook has the answer. Come in and sign up for the Nevada Racebook mobile app. For just a $50 minimum deposit, you'll have the Racebook right at your fingertips, no matter where you are in Nevada. It's convenient, fun, and easy to use. When you do have time to visit, South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our Racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. Whether you want to come in or play from the comfort of your home, South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Sunday. I want to remind everybody they have announced the finalists for the Eclipse Awards after the voting was cut off or stopped. The deadline was a couple of days ago. We'll be talking a little bit more about that on the Wednesday show as well. I know Bill Mott it could be ready for a big night of winning the Eclipse Award, John.
Well, you should. You had 3 horses win Breeders' Cup races, and just an unbelievable year for Bill Mott.
Yeah. The finalists are out, and we'll wait and see about that. But in the meantime, there's another championship coming up, and it's tomorrow. It's the College Football Championship featuring Michigan and Washington. And, of course, we got our man who handicaps the pigskin, Rich Eng. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, John.
Hey, how you doing, Richie?
Good.
It looks like Richie just came out from the cold. It looks like Richie just came out from the East Coast there, buddy.
Well, I've got family back in central Connecticut, and I heard Jonathan talk 10 inches of snow, and the same with my family. They said 8 to 10 inches of snow this morning, and it's still snowing.
Well, my man, we've got kind of a lame duck week of NFL football. Couple of games that mean something, that is for sure. Most of them are going to the teams that have already made the playoffs are going to rest a lot of their starters not to get hurt. Look what happened to Mr. Watt yesterday at Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that could happen, and you don't want that happening just before you go into the playoffs. As long as you are making the playoffs, Pittsburgh needed to win, and some other situations to happen before they get in. But nevertheless, we have, of course, the College Football Championship on Monday. So what say you?
Well, I tell you what, I'll give one pro game and one college game. I had a loser yesterday with the Ravens. That game was so close. It was basically one play that decided that game, was that slant pass to Johnson that he ran for 70 yards.
Mm-hmm.
It shows you where when you have a lot of substitutes playing, the safety made a terrible angle on the ball, and Johnson got behind him and ran right down the field by himself. Mm-hmm. As far as the pro game, Ralph, let's go to a game that has no playoff implications, but has very interesting, maybe historical implications, is 471-472. The New York Jets at the New England Patriots. It's probably going to be a mess up in New England. But I tell you what, this potentially, from the rumors you hear coming out of Boston, could be the last game that Bill Belichick coaches for the Patriots.
Yeah.
And I really think the Patriots are going to be sky high to try to get a win for Bill in his last potential home game. They're -2. I like the Patriots over the New York Jets and possibly a sayonara game.
Yeah, the swan song for Mr. Belichick, you think is going to be a winner for the team. That's bet number 472, the New England Patriots. It'll kick off at 10 a.m. Pacific time. The number right now is 2.5. They're favored by 2.5.
I got -2.
Okay,
-2 as well.
All right, you got it. College Football Championship, Washington and Michigan. And this is another game where the coach for one of these two teams may be the last time he coaches college before he gets to the pros.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh's name has been mentioned with multiple NFL franchises, including ours here in Las Vegas, the Raiders.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. The game is 287-288. Washington is a 4.5-point underdog, and that's the side I'm going to go with, Ralph. I think the angle for me is the fact that Michael Penix is a generational type talent at quarterback. I don't think Michigan has played a quarterback of his ability athletically and intelligence. In the last game against, where they beat Texas, Texas tried to blitz Penix. Penix got out of it every time and made a great play. Michigan's going to try to run the football and run the football some more. But in a potential high-scoring affair, I'd rather take the 4.5 points with Washington.
All right, Richie, we got you there. You're going to take Washington to win the college football national championship, and I cannot disagree with you. I kind of like them too. What about you, John?
I agree.
Yeah.
So we did it. We just buried Washington.
Yeah, we did. Boy, they could send us. In any case, let's get out to San Diego to get a pick on the horses before we let you go.
Yeah, let's go to race number 4. It's a mile on the grass. The rail's out 20 feet. A jockey I've been trying to back, but he hasn't been getting too many live mounts yet, is Kazushi Kimura. But he rides the number 1 Goliad, who has a lot of speed from the rail. With the rail out 20 feet, that will help him. I think he just guns and goes and see if they can catch him in the stretch. So we'll go 25 win place 2 for the RI. Number 1 Goliad in the 4th.
All right, you got it, Richie. Number 1 Goliad in the 4th race. Get Mr. Camaro home in the winner's circle. 4th race, the 1. Don't forget Rich Ang's full sheet of handicapping Santa Anita is available right now today at the racedaylasvegas.com websites. All right, Richie, we'll have a good time with the football and horses and keep bundled up, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Thanks, John. Good
All
luck,
right,
everybody.
We're going to wrap up the show, of course, with John and Jerry, but John's here, so we're waiting for Jerry, and we'll be right back to finish up this Race Day Las Vegas radio program. Don't go away.
Want to bet your favorite horse but can't make it to the race book? South Point Casino's Racebook has the answer. Come in and sign up for the Nevada Racebook mobile app. For just a $50 minimum deposit, you'll have the Racebook right at your fingertips, no matter where you are in Nevada. It's convenient, fun, and easy to use. When you do have time to visit, South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our Racebook is completely separate from the Sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. Whether you want to come in or play from the comfort of your home, South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
Alrighty, back on Race Day Las Vegas to wrap up this week on our final segment here with John and Jerry. Before we get to Jerry, John, let's do some business. First of all, let's get a pick from you for Santa Anita.
I'll go to race number 3 is Santa Anita, Ralph. Number 3, Mischief's Causeway, was really impressive, winning his debut over Labor Day weekend at Del Mar. The key here is that trainer Carly Gaines almost never wins first time out. So for him to do that as well as he did, her horses always improve second and third time out. I think he takes a step forward today. He's training well. He's a pick 5 single, the early pick 5, early pick 4 single for me. 5-2 in the program. Number 3, Mischief's Causeway, race 3, Santa Anita.
All right, Antonio Frisu aboard on that one. The 3, Mischief's Causeway, and the third race is your pick, the 3 in the third. And just before we get to Jerry, etc., you were talking about that the trainer, it was exceptional for this horse to run so good for this particular trainer. So there are trainers out there that have certain styles about them, and a lot of trainers will have horses like cranked up to win early, like Bob Baffert does, and other trainers will give horses experiences in races before they crank them up. And a lot of trainers are good with bringing horses off the shelf, etc. Some of the top trainers there, like a guy like Peter Urton or Peter Miller, their MOs.
Yeah, exactly. They develop patterns like anybody else.
Yeah.
Again, we've been doing this a while in Southern California. Trainer Carla Gaines hardly has a horse. They're usually a little bit heavy. Shouldn't work them too hard in the morning, and they need a little racing. You have a guy like a Bob Baffert. His good horses are going to come out, and they're fit because they've been working in team drills with the other $1 million horses he's got in the barn. Those are like elimination heats. So it just depends, and they will develop patterns over the years, and that's when you do follow a circuit closely, whether it be Santa Anita or Oaklawn Park or wherever. Everybody has a pattern, and you want to bet into their strengths, not into their weaknesses.
And when when horses run, that they run in races that are outside of their normal pattern, that tells you a little something, don't it?
Yeah, good and bad, right?
Yeah.
If they always fire first time, this horse doesn't run 2 jumps. Okay, well, I'm going to stay away from this one. Or in this case, hey, this horse really ran well first time. He must have all kinds of abilities they haven't untapped yet.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping today.
Yeah. Is there any way that a normal player out there can get like a kind of like a cheat sheet on these guys?
Well, in the daily racing form, they do lay out the stats on first-time starters for the trainer stats and whatnot, so that helps you a little bit.
Yeah.
And there is very little information not out there anymore between all the coverage, whether it be the racetrack signals or a FanDuel TV or something like that. They're going to pull up all these numbers. I don't want anybody reading me stats. I just know that this is a strength, this is not a strength, and I'll just go with that. And again, I try to play consistent. That's why I won't jump into circuits that I don't play very often, because I don't know those as well as I do other places.
You don't know the kind of the MO on these trainers.
Exactly.
Now, you were referring to the daily racing form. In the racing form, at the bottom of each past performance section of a horse, each past performance, they lay out how a trainer does with first-time starters, second-time starters, horses off of a layoff, etc. Is that that's what
Right.
you're
There'll be
referring
4 or
to?
5 categories depending on the kind of race.
Yeah.
First time out, dirt to turf, sprint to route. Whatever the situation for that particular race is, they'll have some stats on that trainer under those conditions.
You know, I noticed that the racing form in the, well, maybe 10 years now, time gets away from me when you get as old as I am. But in any case, I remember now when they started putting up the statistics of the trainers, their record for the year, and then their record for that particular meet, etc. And I've noticed that a lot of trainers sometimes refer to that. They really take that, at heart, don't they?
Well, because, it's become a game of percentages, and owners will see all those numbers. And
Yeah.
if they see this guy is winning 25% for the year, well, I want to go with a guy that's winning races.
Yeah.
So they, it forces them to be aggressive, I think. And
Good. That's
again,
good.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you want, I want a guy who's trying to win on that day with the horse I'm trying to play.
Yeah, I don't want them prepping for something.
No.
or at least-
I'll wait for next time.
Yeah, at least tell me, ahead of time that's your intent. And also, the horse players. A lot of guys that sit there and say, "Man, this guy." Well, for example, last week we were talking about how hot Glatt was, right?
Right.
We see that, and so the guys like in the zone right now with his horses, whether it be that his horses are all ready to fire, or whether it be he's placing his horses in the right races to win races, etc. That is a good barometer for horse players as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And a barn will just get good. You see these horses training together, and if a horse runs well, the horse that worked with him, he probably is going to run well too. They're training the same way.
Yeah.
So they kind of go in streaks like that. And you have conditions, a first allowance condition that a horse is going to win that. When they start stepping up into higher conditions, now maybe they struggle a little bit.
And you were talking about how horses sometimes will perform in the morning like they will in the afternoon. That prime example was yesterday in the stakes race where Muth and his stablemate, were battling through the stretch, and then Muth got the best of him. And somebody was saying that they were working that way as well. They had Muth on the outside of this horse, and the other the horse, I believe it was
Pilot Commander.
Pilot Commander,
Right.
was in the workouts, was on the inside as well.
Yeah, Bob Baffert had been working Muth, trying to take him off a little bit to try and get him to rate a little bit.
Yep.
And sit outside. And that's exactly how the race went. Pilot Commander went to the lead. He sat outside. It was just like the morning workout, and it was
Yeah.
the same result.
Yeah, they just did it in the afternoon with a little bit more money at stake.
That's the best time to do it.
All right. Oh my goodness. We got to bring in Jerry Jackowitz now. Look at this. Look at this getup Jerry has for the final week of the NFL. Jerry is decked out in his fandom sweatshirt of the Giants and his fandom cap of the Raiders. You're a confused person, my man. Good morning.
I'm fine. I'm feeling great.
Oh, look at this. Please don't show us your briefs. I don't care what they say.
I'm not confused. I'm just I'm in both camps at the same time.
You're a multi-fan.
I'm pulled and torn and it's all great. I love it. I'm having more fun with football now than I did when I was 8 years old.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's for sure. And we always have fun when we're here in Las Vegas with football because we can actually bet a bob or two on maybe a game that we like. You never know, right?
That is true. It's been known to happen.
All right, Jerry. Now, I think, well, I'm going to ask you, does it get more difficult because we understand the weather patterns that are going through the East Coast right now? There's like 2 other storms right behind it in succession that is on the same path of the jet stream, and it looks like the East Coast is going to get slammed one after another for the next 10 days with this type of weather. And does it make it more difficult or maybe more easy for you to do your power pages?
Well, making the power page is more difficult. I mean, it just I've got to dig in deeper and find little nuggets that help me understand the horse and the condition, and then sometimes getting really understanding the condition is difficult. So I would say it's more difficult on the one hand. On the other hand, I think it tends to create more price opportunities for the players.
Mm-hmm.
And I would rather win 2 out of 10 times than 5 out of 10 times if I'm getting paid 10 to 1 on the 2 to 1s as opposed to 2 to 1 on the 5 winners.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very strange game. The more difficult the game is, the better it is for the players, actually.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying it's a fairly simple thing. The better it is for the players when the game is more difficult. The players may say, "Wow, it's so much more frustrating and difficult."
Right. Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, they're going to get on better prices, or they should be getting on better prices that win. And when that happens, all things get made up. It's really a good thing, not a bad thing. And it really affects the computer players and the people that are arbitraging the game, and that's what you really want. So I like it. It's harder work. That's all.
Okay. Don't want to interrupt you. You done?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyhow, I was going to say that plays right into your philosophy of value.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it plays into my philosophy of using the place pool in your exotics and your exactas to create more winners for yourself.
Okay. Now, I got to ask you one more question, then we'll get your picks. Jockeys. Are there some jockeys that perform better on off tracks than the regular dirt tracks?
I'm guessing yes. I mean, the smarter jockeys know where there's a certain part when they groom the track and the tractor goes over the wheels go over the track. They create, I guess, a little more compression and tighten up certain parts of the track.
Uh-huh.
And the smarter jockeys know where those spots are, and they get to them. And
so in other words, those jockeys will tend to see where the tractor marks are from the tractors floating between races, whatever the liquid or mud or et cetera on top, and they'll look for that particular lane while they're running in the race to get firmer footing?
Well, I think that's one of the things they do. I'm sure there's plenty of things they do that I just don't know. But, and the smarter jockeys look for the biases. They look at other races. They say, hey, the horse down on the rail is doing a little better than I think he should have. I'm going to try the rail. And when they find something, they go with it. So, yeah.
John, you and I remember yesterday we were watching a race at Oaklawn, and a horse that was like 49 to 1 or something got up for second because he used the rail and the firmer footing on the rail coming up the rail to secure the second place finish in a 4-horse across the track.
There was nothing wrong with the inside at Oaklawn yesterday. You talk about that. Martin Pedrosa won an awful lot of races in the slop in Southern California, and Eddie Delahousie would he would get absent. He would get sick on those days where it rained.
I know. He didn't like to come from behind. Too much mud in his face. All right, time to get started. Jerry, we got less than a minute. Give me 2, quick.
Okay, I'll go fast today. Let's go to Aqueduct. We'll go to the 6. We've got a mod horse authorized, the 5 horse and the 6. I love them. 5 over the 1, 3, 4, 7. Do reverses. 1, 3, 4, 7 over the 5. And I'm pressing up 5, 7, 7, 5.
All right, enough said there. The 6th race at Aqueduct, the 5 over 1, 3, 4, 7, and reverse. Santa Anita.
Let's go to the second race. Number 3, Clean Karma, lays over the field, in my opinion, and Herrera is just the right jockey for this horse. I'll take the 3 over the 1, 2, 6. Do my reverses, 1, 2, 6 over the 3, but 3 in race number 2. That's my featured play in Pop-Out Key.
Oh, boy, you guys have given me something here. In the first race, nobody has a pick. There's 8 in that. Second race, you just came with the 3 over 1, 2, 6 in reverse. So you got the 3 in the second. John, you gave us the 3 in the third, and Richie gave us the 1 in the fourth, so I can go all 3, 3, 1, all, and 7 times 8 will get the job done. And you can cut that in half. That's the 50 cent.
$28 ticket.
$28 for the 50-cent bet. Yeah. Not a bad Siraco play for today. All right, remember Jerry J's Power Pages for all of Aqueduct. Horses swimming out there at Aqueduct and at Santa Anita, available right now at jerryjspowerpage.com. I'm wearing my championship hat, the first championship ever I went to in 2015. So until Wednesday, have a wonderful evening of horses and sports. Go ahead and say it real quick, Jerry, real quick.
Have a great race day, everybody.